John D. Rockefeller, born in 1839, was an American oil tycoon, banker, and philanthropist. But he wasn't just a businessman, he was a social engineer. The official story says John D. Rockefeller implemented a new education system through his General Education Board, founded in 1902, to modernize and standardize education in America. But the deeper angle is that it wasn't about creating free-thinking individuals. It was about building a controllable workforce. Industrial control. Rockefeller was the king of monopolies. Oil gave him power, but to maintain control over the expanding industrial world, he needed obedient workers, not independent thinkers. So the education model shifted from classical learning, philosophy, independent reasoning, self-sufficiency, to rote memorization, standardization, and discipline. Frederick T. Gates, who helped design Rockefeller's General Education Board, openly said, "In our dreams, people yield themselves with perfect docility to our molding hand. We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers, or men of learning, or men of science. We are not to raise up from among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. We shall mold them into the kind of people we want." Education used to be about cultivating individuals with broad knowledge and the ability to think critically. Rockefeller's model made it about punctuality, obedience, specialization, and loyalty to a company or state system. Basically, factory schooling for factory jobs. It aligned with the larger elite agenda of the early 20th century, mass control. Standardized schooling created standardized citizens, easier to tax, easier to manage, easier to steer into consumerism. So, Rockefeller didn't just fund education out of generosity. He reshaped it to fit a system that ensured his empire and the elite class around him would always have compliant workers instead of dangerous, independent minds. Rockefeller's blueprint never went away. It just evolved into the school system we live under today. What was once designed to make obedient factory workers now manufactures obedient consumers, employees, and voters. Here's how the threads tie together. Obedience over creativity. Rockefeller's system trained punctual, obedient factory workers. Even today, the schools still emphasize compliance. Sit still, don't question, memorize facts, pass standardized tests. Creativity, entrepreneurship, or independent problem-solving are rarely rewarded. People grow up trained to follow authority and wait for instructions, not innovate or rebel. Standardization caused the loss of individuality, uniform education made the masses predictable for industry. And the standardized testing, rigid curriculums, and Common Core force everyone through the same mold nowadays. Students feel like numbers, anxiety levels skyrocket, and individuality is crushed. Society becomes filled with people afraid to step outside the system, from factories to corporations. Back in the days, the goal was factory jobs. Now it's the education, college debt, and then corporate job pipeline. People are funneled into being lifelong employees, not free thinkers or self-sufficient. This causes the student debt slavery, career dissatisfaction, and a dependency on employers, exactly what keeps the system running. Consumer mentality, Rockefeller funded education to ensure workers bought into the industrial economy. And nowadays, schools teach how to be good consumers, not how to be self-reliant. Kids learn how to buy, not how to grow food, fix things, or manage money. We get generations addicted to consumerism, unable to survive without corporations. Suppression of critical thinking. Frederick Gates openly admitted they didn't want philosophers or men of science. That's exactly what's happening now. Critical thinking is a buzzword, but the system punishes true questioning. If you challenge mainstream narratives, you're labeled a conspiracy theorist. A society that accepts propaganda, news, pharma, politics, without deep analysis. Exactly how elites maintain control. Mental health crisis. For Rockefeller, docility was the goal, and today, people are trained to measure their worth by grades, diplomas, and corporate titles, not by real skills or fulfillment. This caused problems like rising depression, anxiety, and suicide rates among students and workers who feel like cogs in a machine. And the scary part, the system still works. Rockefeller's dream of molding people into the kind we want echoes through our schools, our corporate structures, and our culture today. Instead of factory lines, we have cubicles, Zoom meetings, and consumer debt. But the psychology is the same.